Hi everyone, welcome back to 21 Days Meditative Art Ritual. See you all, and there are so many faces that have been consistent throughout the sessions. I'm glad you chose to do that. You chose to take time for yourself to draw, to meditate indirectly, and to just be yourself, right? So thank you so much. And it's been a wonderful journey of 21 days with you all. Today we have Amrita. So, like I told before, we both met through the 51 workshops, season 3, that was held by Shruti Krishna. So, she was the one who sort of brought us together, and touchwood, we are still in touch. What she's going to teach today is something I'm so excited about. Like, I think I will leave it to her for her to show what she's going to teach, but it's going to be wonderful. And yeah, nice knowing you, Amrita. Good to know you. Good. I'm glad that we are in touch and we could connect through this platform, through this medium of art. And we will get started. And yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay, thanks, Veena. First of all, big thank you to you to have this platform where there are no strings attached for anyone. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, it's your choice. You can get inspired. You can, do stuff. You can practice it. You can change it. You can mix and match two different artists and put it together, and there are mutual admirators throughout your group, and people are basically art inclined and hence joined it. So I would call this an art enthusiast group. It's a lovely place to be. And Veena, you're very sweet and very professional. In spite of your sad demise, you were there and you have managed it so beautifully. So thank you for that, and well done. Right. So, a little about me. I'm Amrita Sequeira, and I love art. I have done education in art. I'm a commercial artist by education, and I have pursued animation and graphics for almost 15 years of my life, and then shifted to fine art completely. 360-degree turn to fine art. And I'm a mixed media artist, and I love exploring with materials. I love realism and a lot of fine detail work. So today we are doing an ornate uh, paperweight. So this is completely 100% made at home. This is made with molded clay, and it is 3D and it has weight. So you can actually do this on a canvas. You can do this on an MDF base. You can do this on any circular object of your choosing with a smooth surface. So this is nothing but molded clay. The entire 40-gram clay, whatever you get in a pack, you just mix it and you make a laddu out of it, and then just chaptao that laddu slightly to become like this. It can be uneven, it can be haphazard, it doesn't need to be round, it can be an organic shape. This is also not 100% round, it has a slight cut and all that, that's fine. You just create a clay circular base like this if you want this bevel. If you don't want this bevel, you can get a MDF cutout or even a paper or whatever base you want, but it has to be smooth. Okay, so let's begin. This is called Meenakari chintz on like jewelry work, ornate. Okay, and it we are using materials like acrylic paint, glass colors, thick medium body gold acrylic in cone painting, and stonework. So we are going to fuse 4 different things and create this wonderful piece. Now, it is in a circular base, hence it can pass off as a mandala, but this is not a symmetrical mandala. So you may want to do a symmetrical mandala. I am going to do a different design. This is one of the designs that I have done. Today I'm going to do something asymmetrical, but on this. Okay, so let me get started. Yeah, we can get started. I'm taking a little bit of white acrylic paint in my very dirty palette. Just uh, any white acrylic paint is fine. I'm taking Fevicryl and a flat brush. First, I would like to prep the base. So basically give a kind of a primer to my base. The first coat I will do with a brush, just a random coat of white. And while this is drying, I will give you an introduction to the materials involved. First coat doesn't really matter because it's semi-transparent. So you can do it with a brush. The lines will go away in the second coat. For the second coat, we are going to use a sponge, something like this. So whenever you want to paint a smooth surface, I feel that the lines of acrylic paints are very visible. If you use something like a sponge, it gives a very good and even texture. Now, while this guy is drying, I'm going to introduce you to the material. First is our sponge. Second is we will need a pencil, we may need an eraser. We will also need a plastic sheet. We are going to create a cone out of this plastic sheet. This plastic sheet is nothing but बच्चों के books का wrapping plastic sheet. Usually they are 2-ply, so make sure you separate them in 2 parts and take only a single sheet. We are going to make a cone out of this, and inside the cone we are going to fill Camel acrylic paint. I love antique gold. It's not Dhingchak gold. It's like a little subtle. It's got a little um more aesthetic gold look to it. So maybe like temple jewelry, that kind of a gold, not the Dubai gold. So if you take pure gold, it is a different color. Antique gold is 010. It's a beautiful gold color. We need acrylic paint from this. So many people have asked me, why don't you take apna Fevicryl acrylic paints ka pearl color? Simply because Fevicryl acrylic paint ka body is very thin. It's thin, it's fluid. Whereas this is medium body, it is thick, it's like a paste. So in comparison with other objects, Fevicryl acrylic paints is like honey, and this is like mehendi. So mehendi के लिए जो हम कोन में डालते हैं, that's perfect consistency is our Camel acrylic paints. So we can actually go ahead and keep that aside and then go to the next material list, which is glass colors. I love my Fevicryl glass colors. They are extremely reasonable. They come in two different, quantities. One is, I think, a set of 10 and the other is a set of 6. Both are fantastic. They have very, very beautiful colors. I am going to take an ultramarine blue and we will progress as we go. It depends on the mood today. So let's see. I have currently put aside, light blue, uh, green, and red. So let's see what we kind of use. In addition to this, I have a few stones. Now, I love collecting stones, and it's not everybody's hobby, but this is something that I do because I do a lot of ornate stuff. This is Swarovski stones, and they're about 2 mm in diameter. This is gold. I love these. They shine really brightly under tube light. you also get a silver Swarovski stones. They also shine so well. This is another type of stone. Then you have, I'm sure you've heard of Kundan stones and diamonds. So I keep a few of these for my ornate stuff. I also have things like the regular Kundan stones, like these. I'm sure you have seen these. These are available easily on Amazon. These are very good to use for ornate stuff like this. So I keep some handy, and whenever I want, can just decorate it the way the design commands, right? Other than this, to apply the stones, there is a petri dish which has these rods. It comes in a diamond painting kit. If you don't have it, a paper plate is fine or a katori is fine. It's absolutely fine. But I love this apparatus. This is a wax pencil, and you will understand why it is the most important thing in our design today, because it's very tedious to pick up a stone and then put it. This just attaches itself to the stone and allows the transfer absolutely seamlessly and without me sweating. But it's very difficult to otherwise put so many stones in a row. So that is, I think we've summed up most of the material. Now we can see that the first layer is dry. We can go ahead with the sponging for the second layer. So just take the same color, and with the sponge, you can see now all the lines are gone. In this step, try not to use water at all. This texture will somewhat settle down a little bit. You can see it's become a little more opaque and smooth. The lines have disappeared. Okay, you must wash your sponge. I will wash it after my live. Sponge खराब हो जाएगा नहीं तो. While this is drying again, let's go ahead and make our cone. I'm sure all of us have made a mehendi cone in our lives sometime. So I'm just going ahead and taking a clean side, trying to very gently push it into a cone position, cone shape, turn it, and basically tape it down. You can make a cone and keep it for months on end if it is sealed properly. This is my last used cone. This is nothing but a message board tack. I don't know whether you have seen something like this before. It's a little touchney with a bead on the end. You get this easily in the stationery store. I love this because it just goes into the nozzle and blocks my acrylic flow and doesn't let my acrylic paint dry. And also keeps the nozzle of my, the cone very clean. Otherwise, वो फट जाता है. Okay, now we are going to put our color. Whenever you're putting color in your tube, let me just stand it out a little bit. Whenever you're putting color in your tube, make sure it's not filled till the top. This much is more than enough. You need to have at least about 2 centimeters gap so that you can push your color down. Okay. Push your color down thoroughly. And now fold it from one side, fold it from the other side, fold it from the top. Twice and thrice. And now secure it with a tape. There are many ways to make a cone. I think it depends on how you have learned it. If you want to secure it further, और टेप लगा सकते हैं. It depends on कैसे आपने पैक किया है. Okay, now my cone is good to go. Also, it is sealed from the tip right now. अभी इसमें से पेंट नहीं निकल रहा है, निकल रहा है, बहुत बारीक पेंट निकल रहा है. ओके, इसको हम जब यूज करेंगे, व्हेन वी स्टार्ट यूजिंग द कोन, देन आई विल क्लिप इट slightly with a scissors at the tip. For now, I can keep this aside. So now what I'm doing, whatever shape you have, okay, you kind of create a outline, just like how I'm doing, so that from the top you can see an equal circular or whatever shape your object is. Create a outline for the edge. Now we are going to draw our organic shape here. So, I mean, you are most welcome to do what I'm doing, but you are also welcome to try out different shapes. Is it visible? What I'll do is after I have sketched this design, I'll allow you to take a screenshot. Maybe that will be helpful. Again, this is very organic, so there is nothing that is making me bind myself to a particular design. Okay. Now for the flower, I want it like a central bloom. So एक center line बना के then I will create. So at this point, no, some paint is getting peeled off. This is probably because I have just painted it and it's still a little wet. So you may allow some drying time before you start drawing. I'm just drawing an asymmetrical flower. Can you see this flower? It's a little asymmetrical. And now on the sides, we'll draw the leaves. And changing the direction.
Amrita,
Yeah.
so one of the sessions we had by Suchita was on fabric painting. That's why she mentioned, like, anything new, like a fabric or
Mm-hmm.
canvas, you sort of start getting comfortable on paper first, and then you go on a different base.
Okay.
What do you think about when it comes to this? Because it's quite undulating, right? So
It's not
how should
visible,
we
it's not clear.
approach this?
Absolutely. So the best thing to do is uh, practice the motif on paper first. And if you're not comfortable doing it directly on something like a surface which is curved or rough or smooth, then you should create, maybe you can outline this rock on a paper and then create the design within that limit and then use that design to transfer on your object which you're actually doing. So you can actually use something like a yellow carbon paper which will not obstruct and muddy your colors. Yellow carbon paper is a very good thing, but I will not suggest yellow carbon paper on a or any carbon paper on a curved surface. It will crumple and create a mess. If it's a flat surface, by all means, yes. It's always good to start with drawing on paper first. Okay, guys, so this is the design. If it's not clear, is it clear? So practice के लिए you can do things like dots. For example, this one. You do dots in the same place like this. Make a smooth dot without a point. Another practice you can do is straight lines. All right. This is now currently in a small size, obviously, but you can do as much practice as possible. If you're doing mehendi on people's hands and your hands, then I think you already have a steady hand for cone painting. So you do in that case, you really don't need the practice. Let's go ahead and start our flower. I'm going to start. I like to do something which is called suspended mehendi or cone work, where the cone tip is not touching the base. I have touched the first bit of the paint, and then the rest of the paint is in a suspended snake, and that gives me a very smooth outline. This does two things. One is it gives the illusion of wire work, and second thing is it creates a barrier, a wall to contain our glass colors. So if your cone work is very thin, your glass colors will obviously not contain, they may leak. But if it is too thick, it will look a little, what do you say, childish or not very clean artwork, not very delicate. So try to create a outline which is in the middle of both the sizes, not very thick, not very thin. Anybody has any doubts so far? Please feel free to discuss or
I think everyone is good.
okay, thank you.
I'm curious to know how is everyone else doing it, like on paper or canvas or
Is
just
anyone doing this along with me?
yeah. So that's why I'm curious, like who, if like how many people are doing it, and because I'm doing it on a paper with a gold pen.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So who else? How? So we have Gauri doing it on paper.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, very often I feel that when I'm squeezing the paint out of a cone, there is always a blob issue. The first part of the cone always comes out in the form of a blob. That is where everybody almost makes this, gets irritated, frustrated, and then just gives up. So that is where the control of the cone matters. Also, the nozzle has to be very cleanly cut. So very often we cut the nozzle at an angle, and that is at a microscopic level, which we, with our naked eyes, we can't see what we've done. So I would always suggest people to bring the cone up to eye level and then cut it in front like a surgeon, like with precision. That really makes a huge difference with the flow of the paint. Like I used to also wonder why my paint is coming out so curly and it's always with a blob. And what's the matter? Where have I gone wrong? And it's almost always the way I cut. So these I'm giving as gold dots, which I may later put as Swarovskis. Now, another very good question that people ask often for this kind of an artwork is, why are you using glass colors? Why not acrylic colors? Since you've done the base as acrylic colors, why are you doing glass colors? So, glass colors are also acrylic in nature, by the way. But glass colors have this translucency and the sheen that make it look like glass and stained glass. And that is the property of Meenakari work actually. Meenakari is done with cut mirror or molted mirror. So it kind of resembles that material. And I think I'm almost done. I'll give the border as well. Okay, we are done. What do you think, guys? Is it pretty?
Lovely. So good. So good. Like, I have a question to ask. Did you sort of create this exclusively for this session today?
Yes.
Yay! See,
Just
how
for you, Lena. Yeah,
gifted we are.
absolutely. So I created this because I promised you something ornate and I wasn't sure what to do. So I said, let me cook up something. Anyway, so right now what I'm doing is this gold dot, which I have already deposited here. I'm taking a Swarovski, a golden Swarovski with my wax pen, and I'm just putting it in the middle of this gold dot. Can you see how it has pushed the gold paint out and created a kundan look? This is painted, which is amazing. Also, it is not as 3D as our gold kundan, which is available on Amazon. That is too 3D. This is quite flat. So here we have two instances of Swarovskis here. We can obviously add more Swarovskis towards the later part. Let's go ahead and start painting. Okay, I'm going to take a mix of two colors. Let me just peel this off. I'm going to take a mix of two colors. I'm taking dark blue from my glass colors. Okay, I'm going to start painting now. I'm painting the flower blue. So what I'm going to do is this light blue and dark blue ka combination I'm going to give. So instead of using the paint as the glass color tube itself, I'm going to use a brush and take and try to create this illusion of blending on every petal. Can you see that? How pretty it looks? So for every petal, we can just go ahead. Now the thing is, my stone has a bulge, which means gravity is going to do its thing and pull the glass colors to one side, which is fine. As long as you don't overload your glass colors, it will not overflow. But obviously, be very careful. That's all. Just go a little back and forth, and that mixing will happen with the streaks. And trust me, it will remain like this. It looks so pretty. Now, why I'm doing one petal at a time is because glass colors, like acrylic paints, dry very fast. So by the time I do all the light blues and come back to do my dark blue, it would have semi-dried. So it's better to just do one petal at a time. When I was a little girl, my mother had introduced me to resin flowers which were made over wires. So we would take a wire and twist it in a petal and then dip it in a solution which resembles nail paint. nail polish. And what would happen is that wire would just have a very thin film of the nail paint continuously across it. And then we would dry it and then create a flower out of all the petals, joining them. This is that effect. It's a very similar effect.
Wow. Your mother was so artistic then. I think all.
My mother is very artistic. Yes, she is actually an untrained artist, and
Wow.
she used to do every summer. There was no summer where we would sit idle. We would take up a project and do it the entire summer.
That's so nice. I think, everyone who's an artist, somewhere indirectly, I feel like it has passed down from our, parents because they are creative in their own ways, right? And indirectly, it has gotten to us, like it has passed through. Because even for me, my mom, growing up, I always loved doing art, and she would make me do like these with matchsticks. She would make me cut the chart paper and then put the matchsticks around it like a star.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, interactive. And she would with straw. She made me do a curtain like the
That's
plastic.
right. That's right. Yeah. How cool. Those were good days. Yeah. I mean, they're like a walk down memory lane. All these crafts. फूड ग्रेन क्राफ्ट किसने किया है? दाल से कुछ बनाना, राइस से.
I did partially. So this that artwork that I was talking about, matchsticks. So I used that dal to sort of make smiley faces, like keep smiling, don't worry, be happy, sort
Ah,
of.
so cute. Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Correct. So I think I'll just do this thick color for the center. And this is kind of drying because it's hot here and I've turned on my aircon. It's drying very fast. So this area is a large area. So I can use my nozzle rather than my brush. So guys, you can take a call what you want to do. Now, let me tell you one thing that if you are doing this on paper and you're going to use glass colors, right? Your paper should be glossy. तो ग्लास कलर का इफेक्ट बहुत अच्छा आएगा. Okay, just keep that in mind. The glass colors will really pop if your colors are if your paper is glossy.
Jolly has a question. What would be the GSM of the paper?
The thicker the paper, the better, Jolly always. And hi, Jolly, how are you? I love my Jolly. So, the thicker the paper, the better. And in this particular art, the smoother, the better. See, as opposed to any thin paper, if you receive a card or any painting with a thin paper, how would you feel? As opposed to a thick, well presentable paper, right? So, it just gives a very premium feel, I feel, a thick paper. Not just that, it holds your artwork really well for a longer duration, longer number of years. उसका ये मतलब नहीं है पतले पेपर पे नहीं होगा. Like I think 200 GSM plus is a good idea. Anything lesser than that is not really worth your effort. I am running out. Okay. So if this color bleeds out, okay, you can take a toothpick and clean it up, or even simply a wet brush which has been wiped recently. Don't take a dry brush, a wet brush which is just wiped, and dehydrate it. It will become thirsty and it will pick up all the things that are outside your lines.
It's beautiful how different colors are giving a different look. Like this one is giving that calm,
It's a
cool.
very calm, yeah, exactly. So this is the Jaipur blue pottery feel, I think, and something about that color scheme just hits a cool vibe.
Yeah, whereas the one which you had shared as a reference, that gives like a royal vibe.
Royal. Yeah, that's right. You're absolutely right. True. So let's do this as now. Very often, what happens is we are not very happy with our cone work, and you think that the cone work is not very great. It's very chapta or whatever. In that case, you are most welcome to go over it. There is no rule as such that you can do it only once. You're most welcome to do another layer of cone over it. It's absolutely fine. And with that, we are done. Paperweight. You can create a pendant, you can create earrings, you can create a jewelry box look, you can create jewelry for some painting that you're making. I'm going to put a few gold dots just outside on the periphery, just to give it a ghungru look. And to be honest, somebody like me, I can just keep going on this one particular piece. I can keep going on and on for 2 days and not stop. So there is no end to doing how much you want to do. You just need to take a call, bas ho gaya. you know, just, there we go. And the other one can create peacocks, teddy bears, hearts, whatever your heart desires. You're most welcome to create it on a surface which is curved. Um, it is a challenge if you are a beginner. Try to do it on a flat surface first and then attempt a curved surface. But I love the fact that the curved surface gives a little bit of a texture. So it's lovely to just fiddle. It's very nice. It's very satisfying. And you can experiment with colors as well. I hope you enjoyed today's session.
This is so lovely. So mine is nowhere near to that, but I attempted the design, which I'm happy. If you can see, like just the
Oh,
design.
oh yeah, nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So it's beautiful session, something new. That's what Dore is saying.
Okay. Wow. Thank you. Now, this is something not to overwhelm anybody, but yes, it's a big piece. So I had made this with the same principles. And the thing is that it looks intimidating, but if you do it stepwise it and break it down, it is totally doable. And basically, it is the same principle as what I had taught. I have this class online. If you are interested, you can join this. I made this for my niece. She's going to get married, and her only her only condition is that you can gift this to me, Bua, but you have to have a real one inside. I
That's a
said
very
guts, yeah.
expensive
Guts
condition.
hona chahiye bachcho ko. It's very therapeutic once you start cone painting. You don't want to stop. Cone painting is super fun.
So I do know that you teach Sheena ji painting as well.
Yes.
Is the principle similar?
Rina ji has a lot of shringar, to be honest. Srinath ji has a lot of shringar, so there is a lot of jewelry work. So you can apply this to the jewelry work for sure. But I do a lot of mixed media. So we have ready pieces of pendants and earrings, and then we assemble that. Rather than doing this from scratch, we do that. उसमें ही काफी
Right,
टाइम लग जाता है. Hmm.
right. I did, and
Absolutely.
I think I learned a lot today, and even just the drawing part itself is so nice.
No, so I just realized doing cone painting under pressure is quite nerve wracking.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sweating a
Did
little
they
bit
pressurize you?
on screen. So yeah, usually I sing while I'm doing art,
Oh, you
but
should
आज
have
गाना
today. This
निकल
is
नहीं
so
रहा
lovely.
था. Good.
And thank you,
Eagle
everyone.
eye. Sure, sure.
Thank you, Amrita. Thank you once
Thank you.
again. I
Thank you,
love this.
Veena. Lots of love.
Thank you. All right.
Bye. Bye, girl.